Welcome to Bedtime Story. Today we are gonna read Puppy Dog Pal Haunted Halloween by Disney. Thank you for liking and subscribing. I hope you are enjoying reading along with us. Today, let's read it together. It's a windy Halloween morning, and Bob is decorating the house. Rolly is already in his costume, but he can't find his brother Bingo. "Where are you?" he calls out. "Happy Halloween!" Bingo shouts, jumping from behind a pile of pumpkin. "You spook me!" Rolly giggles. "I am a pumpkin, get it? A puppy and pumpkin," Rolly says proudly. Rufus and Cupcake walk by. "We have to stay away from the far end of the park tonight," Cupcake says loudly. "Why?" Bingo asks. "Every Halloween, a spooky wookie ghost called a hunted hallower haunts the far end of the park. He sounds like this. Hello." After Rufus and Cupcake leave, Rolly turns to Bingo. "I don't want to meet a holly ghost." "Don't worry, Bingo," says. "There is no such thing as ghost." Then the pups hear their neighbor Holly. "Ah, we'll never find it. Halloween is ruined," she says sadly. Bob and the pup check the Chloe, her mom and her friend Stephen to see what's wrong. "We have a costume emergency," Chloe sighed. She explains that she made her own Halloween costume and hung it outside to dry, but the wind blew it away. "I don't want to go trick or treat without my costume." Stephen offers to share his costume, but Chloe says he wants to wear the one she made because it flows and it glows in dark. "Chloe and Chloe, that does sound like cool costume," Bingo says. "We are going on a special Halloween mission," Rolly tells. "Bingo, let's collar up." Luckily, the pup's high-tech collar fit over the costume. The pups start their search. "I can't wait to find Chloe's costume," Bingo said. Rolly stopped, but she never said what she was going to be. "Well, she said it was glow and flowy," Bingo explains, "so we'll look for something like that." Rolly finds something glowy, but not flowy. A jack-o'-lantern. He poses next to it. "Look, I am a Rolly of lantern." "Over here," Bingo calls as he spots something flowy, but not glowy. "So we are looking for something flowy and glowy," Rolly says. Just then, something flies by like that. "Bingo!" And Rolly chases the costume until it gets caught in the tree. "How many are we going to get it down?" Rolly wonders. Suddenly, a strong gush of wind blows a costume out of the tree and towards the park. The pups watch as the costume floats over the park wall towards the far end of the park. Bingo and Rolly shout. The pups slowly walk into the park. As the sun sets, the park gets spooky and spooky. Howl hoots the trees. Bats flutters in the sky. Suddenly they hear a scary sound. "Howl!" Rolly gulp. It is that the Holly ghost?" but it's something even scarier. Cupcake, I am looking for Rufus. Have you seen him? She asked. No, but we did hear the haunted Hallower, Rolly says. This is no haunted Hallower, she tell them. I made up a story to scare you. Glad it worked, she added with a smirk. Then leave to find Rufus. Well, we will still need to find Chloe costume, Bingo says. Let's go! But Rolly has had enough spooky surprises for the night. Don't worry, Bingo, tell him. As long as we are together, there is nothing to be afraid of. Rolly asks, take a deep breath. Okay, let's do this. The pups continue walking through the park. Suddenly, Cupcake runs past them, screaming. The haunted Halloween is real. The puppies turn to see a flowy, glowy creature running towards them. Aroo! Wait a second, Rolly says. That's look like Chloe costume. He marches up to the haunted howl and pulls the costume off. I ain't afraid of no ghost costume. Underneath the flowy, glowy costume is Rufus. Just then the pup hears kids calling, trick or treat. We better get this costume back to Chloe fast, Bingo says. Rufus, will you give us a ride? Rufus nods and the puppy jumps into his back. Rufus runs as fast as he can. They have almost made it to Chloe's house. Then another gush of wind blows the costume out of the pup's mouth. They watch it fly through the air, around the tree and over the wall where it landed. On Chloe's porch, right where she left it, my costume. It came back, she shouted. We couldn't have done this without you, Rufus, Rolly says. Hi, Pod. Ding dong, Bob answered the door. Oh, a cool robot and a spooky ghost. Guess what, Mr. Bob? It's me, Chloe says. My costume came back. Bingo! And Rolly smiles at the friends. Mission accomplished.